Hey guys, welcome back to Spiritual Selfish channel. In this video, actually, you probably are noticing that I'm filming in selfie mode. The reason is this is the second part for my spiritual awakening, waking up from the illusion video. I filmed it straight away, and it was like 50 minutes. So I was like, I'm gonna cut it in two. So you're now watching the second part where I will be sharing more about my inner work, the shadow work that I was doing when I had my spiritual awakening. If you haven't seen the first part yet, I suggest you watch it first. I released it yesterday. So it's all about waking up from the illusion that I had in 2014. So definitely check it out here. I'm gonna link it up here. But other than that, I hope you enjoy this video. As always, if it's helpful to you, if you can relate, oh my god, if you can relate to my story, give it a thumb right now. Comment down below. I would love to hear that. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed today's video. So let's jump into it. And I wanted to make this, this story about US trip a bit longer, just to, give you understanding what really kicked me and opened my eyes. When I then came back to Latvia, I started working in the office, like the dream job I wanted, an American company. I had to speak English at my work all the time. I also joined like a multi-level network company, which was around travel. So with that, I traveled all around Europe. I traveled to US again. And they were teaching us a lot about self-development, self-belief, how to sell, marketing, how to show up, how to communicate. Now when I look back at all of those experiences, I see how they were making me the person who I am today, how all those experiences, which then felt like, what the hell, it's so hard. Now it makes so much sense that I have experienced that because I have gained so much value and so much knowledge from it. I was in corporate. I kind of, made it. Like I was 20 or 21 years old, and I pretty much, made it. And I was thinking, is that it? Is that it? I love my job. It's cool, but there has to be more to life. I already changed the way I behave, the way I work and make money from what was happening generations in my family. But I was feeling this big dissatisfaction. So I always had in the background of my mind, how can I travel the world and make money at the same time? Because, with this MLM travel company that I was part of, I will go, to self-development event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and use my vacation days like this, throughout the year. So I traveled frequently, but, always coming back to reality, coming back to work, coming back. And I felt like I'm so limited. And, I was just looking for something more. And one really important thing I want to mention to you guys is that travel have helped me in such an incredible way. It have brought so much awareness into my life, especially those times when I was, traveling on my own, going to Brazil for 2 months and to work for Olympics, or, doing some crazy shit. And what it really helped me is to wake up from illusion, from the fear that, because I feel a lot of the people are living in such a fear, and we do not understand. We're not aware of that. We just think that it's, what's gonna happen if I go travel by myself and someone is gonna rob me or whatever. Bullshit, We create these stories that we are afraid of, and we are paralyzed to take any action. But what I will tell you, that when I started traveling, that bullshit happened. Scary things, creepy things happen. But I understood no matter what happens, I have my back. No matter what happens, I can figure this out. So not only I broke the illusion of fear, that it's not that scary as I imagined, I also built incredible level of self-trust in myself. And you know what? It's incredible Just gonna grab some water. Incredible level of, how you say, freedom, liberation that you can give to yourself. So, I was traveling all around the world. I was at work, MLM, company, that and that, like, you name it. But what I felt that, because there's different like groups of people, I was bringing out with a certain group of people certain personality of Kristina in order to belong and to accept it. If I'm in a group of people and they talk something about business or whatever, I will be very serious. Or if it's a loud company, I will also try to be loud. If it's someone who is like silent and whatever, I will also try to dim my light. So at the end of the day, I learned that, you can shift between identities and your personalities just like that. However, I started questioning, what? Who's Kristina without those people? Who's really Kristina at her core as an identity? And, when I started to think about it, I really had to tune in into myself and understand, like, what? Like, I actually am a confident person. I have a lot of energy. I actually enjoy being by myself, but I also enjoy being out with people. So I call myself like extroverted introvert. But this is to tell you, when I had this realization, I think about that around that time. This is when I left my job, because I was feeling like, what the hell? Doesn't make sense. Nothing doesn't make sense. Because I was feeling, that's it. I literally left everything. I applied for a student visa in Australia, and I, left everything and traveled around other side of the world to Australia. So I spent almost 2 years in Australia. I went there in January 2017. So that's quite recently, 3-4 years. And when I came to Australia, another wow, it's so different what I used to see in America or Europe. And, like people there were so easy. And that's what I love about Australian culture. People are so easy and so welcoming and truly felt like home, like from day one. However, when I came to Australia, like I had acquaintances. But I only had one friend, like, whom I really knew for a couple of years, and she really helped me, like, to, find a place while, support me while I was looking for a job, for my own place at the beginning. So I'm super grateful for that. But, when I came to Australia, like, I don't know anyone. I'm starting to do what I said. I said I will never study again. So there I was studying fitness. And I also was saying, like, I will never work as a waitress. But, when you're on a student visa, it was challenging to find some work. So I had to work as a waitress, and like all my beliefs again started to shake. And beliefs about who I am and how the life works starting to shake. And like I truly felt my identity that I have created previously have been stripped away, and I had to rebuild myself from scratch again. Like in terms, like I had to come up with what foods to eat, because everything that we had in Latvia, there's no in Australia. I had to completely redo my diet. I started, I forgot to mention, like when I was 17, 18, I was partying a lot. Like every single Friday we'll go drink, get wasted, like. And you know what? Like, I did not enjoy it, but I felt, well, that's what you do, right? So when I went to Australia, I was like, really, like, what the hell? Why? I don't need to drink. So I pretty much quit since 2017. I remember there was a moment I almost did not drink in 2017. But however, I went to like Halloween party and, had some drinks, whatever. And the next morning I wake up and I had a hangover. And again, that voice in my mind, and it's telling me, why? Why are you doing this to me? And it was like my body speaking to me. What have I done that you're doing this to me and treating me like this? And I was like, holy crap, And that moment right there, I made a decision, that's it, there's no reason for me to poison my body with alcohol. So there's that. But yeah, like completely redid my identity, who I am, who I show up as. And because I understood previously, you know what, I can be any identity. What if now when I come to Australia, I will just show up the way I want. I will I won't put any makeup. I won't be straightening my hair. I will wear what the hell I want. I want to see how people will react to this. And you know what? People accepted me just the way I am. And I was like, you know what? Like, realization, like, they really don't have a choice. If I rock up like this and I say, this is who is Kristina, people don't have a choice. Besides, the only one choice is to accept you the way you show up. So I really understood that, you know what? If I want people to see me as a confident person, I have to behave confident. So that's one, if you're writing down notes, take a note. If you want people to perceive a certain way, just act that way. Like, just stop being or trying to be something that you're not. So you're gonna do yourself a huge favor. And, long story short, I was always in the background of my mind having this desire, how people travel and make money at the same time, blah, 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 And it took me 6 freaking years to figure this out. I actually wrote an Instagram post about it, so you can go check it out I'm at Kristina Day. It was like few weeks ago. But I really was, trying different systems or whatever, and back in the day, it wasn't that easy to find the information as it is now. So I took a course on how that actually when it worked. I took a course on tech skill course, so I became like virtual assistant. So I had the skill, but I did I feel no one tells you that when you start business, especially online business, this is going to be one of your biggest self-development steps. Because I had the skill now, how to do social media, blog management, build websites, email marketing, you name it. However, I started all of my insecurities of self-doubt. Can I do this? Worthiness, why people will pay me, blah, 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 started coming up. And I literally could not start my business until I hired a business coach, and she helped me really do market research, all of that stuff. So by that time, my visa already for Australia ended. I was like, you know what? I'm not freaking going back to Latvia. I'm going to Bali. So I went to Bali, and I started working as a virtual assistant, landing some clients, starting doing Pinterest marketing. So that was already end of 2018. However, you know what? When only Instagram stories, I think Instagram stories started coming in 2017, 2018, something around that. And I remember watching some people doing stories, and I was like, wow, this is so cool that people can just film themselves and put themselves out there. I would love to do it too, but I will never do this because English is not my first language, because I don't know what to say. I will forget what to say. I hate how my voice sounds and so on and so forth. And I was like, ugh. But because I started online business, I was like, you know what? I really have to put myself out there. And I always wanted to, because I just love speaking and teaching and sharing information. But I was labeling myself, I can't do this, because XYZ bullshit. But when I started doing, stories, I really felt I remember I will film a story, publish it, and then I will try to rewatch it to okay, what did you do well? And I was like, I can't. I was almost wanting to throw up, because the way I did not like myself on the camera is ridiculous. I will throw my phone on the sofa, and that's it. Don't watch these stories anymore. But yeah, it took a while to get used to myself on camera. So with this, I want to encourage you, if you want to start showing up on camera more, do it. Just get over it, because in the beginning, it's never comfortable. Think about it. Previous generation did not have to do it. They did not have the opportunity to do this. We have, and we have the opportunity to overcome this paradigm of looking at yourself as well. So there's that, and in general, I'm trying to speed this up so I don't go forever. But guys, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a like right now. Drop a comment down below so I know, if this is helpful for you, because I really want to empower all of you with, my story and to share it with you that I was a loser back in the day. Like, of course, it's laughable for me now to see how I labeled myself. And when I think about, like, oh my God, that girl, she was so shy. I want you to shake her up and, like, tell her, wake up. and I feel this is one of my strong powers now. Like, I love waking up people. Like, hell, you have so much potential. Stop sitting in your fears and stop believing your limiting beliefs. Anyway, back to the story. When I went when I went to Bali and, just starting my business and all these amazing entrepreneurs around me. And because I always felt I am less than, because I grew up in such a tiny country, I am less than other people have more resources than me. Like, there's something wrong with me. I had this perfectionist, such a crazy controlling perfectionist that this has to be this way, this has to be perfect, like no one is gonna pay me if I don't have this. And of course this have served me in an incredible way. I have achieved so many things through hustle and doing it, but now I'm learning how to surrender, how to trust, how to ask for help, how to receive help. But back in that moment I was such a perfectionist and really put a lot of pressure on myself. And one tip, if you are starting your business now or whatever, you want to start something new, I used to believe when I just started that there is one certain standard that everything online is done in. Like, maybe now there's more versatility online, but when I started, I felt like, I have to be this way. That's it. I've really had this employee mindset, like, you have to do this way or you're going to be fired, So there is really no one way. I really understood everyone, all the entrepreneurs, we're just winging it up. I want to do this. I will create this. Okay, let me figure this out. I don't know yet. I'm going to ask for help and so on and so forth. So that's one of the, big nuggets that I also learned. Like, now the sun is coming out and it's so bright. Anyway. So just to recap, girl who was extremely shy, extremely doubtful, scared, and with a big power to mindset is now in front of you, sharing this all with you, because it is all possible, guys. It is all possible. You are not your fears. You are not your limiting beliefs. And I overcame it by taking action and going into my fears, facing my fears, not running away from them, so that when I looked at those fears, they evaporated, and also the illusion of those stories evaporated with them as well. So again, as I mentioned to you, my first wake up aha moment was in 2014 when I went to US and I woke up to the illusion I was living in. However, my spiritual awakening, I feel like it's hard for me to pinpoint when spiritual awakening happened for me. But really, when I started my business in end of 2017, beginning of 2018, this is when all of my bullshit, all of my shadow work, all of my inner wounded child started coming up, and I had to deal with it. And so this is when I started doing the work, started, crying, journaling, meditating, and learning all of this stuff that I share now with you. And because this is what I really feel, yeah, you can hustle, you can get it, but I feel a lot of people are already very good at it. Okay, now it's better. So yeah, guys, doing the inner work and doing shadow work is going to be so much liberation for you. You cannot, like, if you haven't done it yet, if you're still to experience your ego death, you know, when I have to be right and like I have to get it, I have to control everything, like you will be very surprised about how much their stuff is, you know, what we don't speak about. So really, I spent 2018 and 2019 feeling like I'm emotional wreck. In 2019, I really felt like I'm crying every day because I was healing so much for my wounded child, inner child, and fears and doubts, and believing and, you know, opening my mind that the world is not as tough as I used to think, that there are so many people who want to help me, and that, you know, abundance is there. I just have to choose it. You know, as I said, you know, with Bob Proctor work, I always understood that we are the creators, but I understood it through hustle and going after it and getting it versus, you know, allowing and relaxing and coming back to source by undoing the limitation and the limited conditioning. So with that being said, I want to wrap this up and remind you to stop labeling yourself. Whatever you might be telling yourself, I'm a shy person, I'm an extrovert, I'm a party girl, I'm a failure, I'm stupid, I'm boring, or whatever. Stop labeling yourself. As I said, you are not your limiting beliefs. You can change your beliefs by making a decision and making a choice to step into different frequency, to step into different reality. But in order for us to change, we have to take action and actually change, right? So I challenge you and encourage you to do one thing today or tomorrow that you are afraid of, or something that you feel you can't do. Maybe it's filming an Instagram story. Maybe it's, you know, sending an email to a client. Maybe it's speaking up with your partner about an intimate topic, whatever. You know, I challenge you to take that small step, but scary step, because when we face it, I invite you to get over it. Stop holding on to it, because it's going to be such a liberation for you. And as I said, you know, one of my strongest powers I feel now is really like looking at people, because I always see potential, looking at people and be like, hey dude, you know, like wake up, you are not what you're telling, you're not the story you're telling yourself. And so often, you know, people come to me and they're like, oh my God, I can't do this, I will delete this, and you know, tell me all this. I'm like, hey, relax, like this is you and this is your story. You're not your story. Like, come back to who you are, come back to the source. Okay, let's look, what do? You know, what do you want to do? Like, okay, boom, 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 you want to do this, right? So we have to hop out of our limitation and stories. All right, guys, I feel this has been long video, but I've put so much heart into it. And, you know, with my energy from my heart to your heart, I am sending you love, encouragement, and remembrance of who you are, because you can create whatever you want to create. You can show up the way you want to show up. You just have to allow yourself to do it. So if this is resonating and, you know, spiritual selfish channel content have helped you, there's a PayPal donation button down below. So if you're feeling resonating only, you don't have to do it, obviously. So feel free. You're welcome to support this channel financially as well. It's always appreciated. And yeah, like I'm gonna talk with you next week on Wednesday. Give this video a like, and if I can, guys, be of any help to you, whatever you want to create, if you're stuck in fear, if you're stuck in your limiting beliefs, or you're lacking some encouragement and push and need more of a guidance, hit me up, let me know. I'm happy to support you. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.